Good evening, I am Don Lemon, and you're watching Pew News, the most trusted news source on the internet. I don't have the mug, I don't have the chair, I don't have the green screen. The first news, the first news comes from Johnny D.
This motherfucker deal double G, you dog. You know I might put the DRE.
Johnny D, which I made a video on a few months ago, and he is now suffering from pneumonia. I don't really know how it's pronounced.
Pneumonia.
It's a lung bacteria, I think. I shouldn't even talk about it because I don't know what it is, but it's bad, okay? It's bad and he needs our help. I tweeted about this and Johnny D's wife made a video explaining the situation.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Helen. I am Johnny D's wife. We have been married for almost 11 years.
She talks about how Johnny D started the channel from her gifting him a karaoke set that included all the songs. He talks about how my video really helped out his channel a lot and he was very happy about that. But as you probably know, he got scammed twice and he never got any of that money, which sucks. I feel bad for Johnny and his situation, and of course I want to help as much as I can. A lot of people said this was fake, so they uploaded another video. Where you can clearly see Johnny is in critical condition.
Hello fans, I think you can thank my wife's daughter for me being the last day. I passed out at home. I couldn't even get to my cell phone and called 911. She heard me screaming. She woke up in the middle of the night and saved me.
I tweeted the GoFundMe page that they linked to, which is helping covering the cost for the medical bills. I want to be able to help as much as I can, obviously. I want to be cautious about the situation. A lot of people were criticizing me for not sharing this more and stuff like that. I just don't want the money to end up in the wrong person's hands, since that technically has happened twice already. It is a lot of money we're talking about here. It's already $5,000 being donated, and you should definitely help, and I want people to help, but I also want to be cautious and make sure that at least this amount of money gets to Johnny D. Make sure it does get covered by his bills before applying more and then risking the chance and me giving this a shout out and that it will get lost again. That would just be the worst thing that could happen, and I want to try and be somewhat responsible and hope that for that not to happen. I want Johnny D to recover as best as possible. That's what I want more than anything, but just want to be a bit cautious before sending more people into hell. Nevertheless, I hope Johnny recovers as soon as possible so we can have him back making his amazing karaoke videos. That's all we want. Johnny D, if you're watching, keep hanging in there. The bros got your back, boy. I am Don Lemon, and I am not supposed to give my own personal feedback, criticism on the news chat, Pew News, but this story just makes me angry. How can the media keep attacking PewDiePie? He hasn't even done anything. What is up, PewDiePie? The troubling content of YouTube's biggest star. Childish, offensive, and immensely popular, the YouTube star, whose real name is Felix Kjellberg, continues to command a huge audience. But what is he really saying? That's not the tagline I remember reading. Here's what the original headline said. Childish, bigoted, and immensely popular, the YouTube star. What? You changed it. You changed the tag. It's like, can we call him a bigot? Let's just not do that. Maybe we shouldn't call him bigoted, because then that it seems like we're just a bunch of kids throwing words and names around. This article, to summarize, it sort of insinuates that me creating a book club is somehow a bad thing. That people should pay more attention to what I'm doing online, because who knows what he's gonna do next month. He might tell them to read Mein Kampf. Oh, a lot of people on Twitter were really mad about this article, and I appreciate people standing up for me, but personally I'm not mad. I'm also not ignoring the fact that they did say some nice things in the article. For example, here they say that Felix is funny, intelligent, and innovative, and highly charismatic, which of course all of this I am. He is. Despite also being called a narcissist, a bigot, and a potential alt-right, I'm not mad, okay? I know it might be confusing for some people. I never technically label myself towards any political what's it called, the group or opinion. I just personally don't see myself aligning perfectly with anyone or anything, and really at the end of it, I don't care. I genuinely just don't care. I talk a lot about social politics on this channel. I criticize it and I make fun of it a lot because my channel was attacked by it. I don't see this article as an attack on me, despite a lot of people thinking that it is and getting a lot of people angry. I see it as a display of fear. I wasn't necessarily upset about it, and also I'm kind of used to this sort of treatment by now. I think they know that I have influence. They know it might not be over their generation, but it is influence that is stronger than theirs, at least of the next. And I think there's a definite fear there that they're losing control. I feel like there's a bigger picture to discuss here, where the media has created a landscape of social politics where they've gone around throwing labels at everything. Racist, bigot, sexist, alt-right. Like it's nothing, because it's quick, it's effective, and it's powerful. And it's a great way to control people. He may not have called me alt-right in the article, but so desperately wanting to call me alt-right. To call him an alt-right agitator would perhaps be unfair, as he has never publicly identified with the proto-fascist movement, but he shares much of their culture and amplifies it across the world. Just because other people don't share the exact same opinions as the media does not mean that everyone else is an alt-right. This landscape of constantly throwing around labels and twisting the meaning of them and changing to fit into this obscure shape, it's just nonsensical. It's laughable, which is why I enjoy criticizing it on this channel, and which is why I enjoy humoring it, because it's just so bizarre. Oh, what was said was a joke? Doesn't matter, we can call him this. Oh, what was said was taken out of context? Doesn't matter, we can call him this. Does that mean I completely agree with political groups that are popular online for not agreeing with this idea? No, come on media, I don't want to keep fighting with you. What do I gotta do? If you actually watch my videos, I think you'd find that it's not that bad, all right? We're just reading books here, all right? And reading books is a good thing, huh? Don't be so bigoted. Brad is now going to say the weather. Brad, tell us about the weather.
Smug. I'd say the weather sounds pretty smug right now.
I forgot the most important news. Ash is coming out on all consoles. That's right, Nintendo Game Boy, Nintendo Advance, and the Xbox Switch. Check it out, guys. Ash, full version. You definitely don't want to miss this. For more info, link in the description. Have I told you about my chair? Let's just get this last story out of the way. I almost don't want to talk about it, but at the same time, then it might seem like I don't care or that I don't think it's important. As you probably heard, there was a shooter at the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno. A shooter entered with a handgun and shot 3 people and then itself. And thank God no one got killed, except the shooter, of course. At least that's what I know. I'm not sure what is the situation of the victims so far, or the ones that got hurt. I don't want this to be another video where someone talks about the situation but nothing really gets said. I've seen so many of those. I know people mean well, and I know it's hard to discuss these situations, but I think it would be ignorant of me to ignore the fact that it would be ignorant or cowardice for me to ignore the fact that the shooter did acknowledge that the shooter did speak about demonetization and that frustration, and it hasn't been confirmed if that was the reason behind the shooting, but it's out there. I saw on the website of the shooter there was promoting some videos of demonetization rants and saying that their videos were being censored or less views or something like that. And thank God none of my videos were there. Jesus Christ. YouTube's had a rough year, man. For anyone that was involved in this horrible incident, I'm just so sorry you had to go through something like this. I can't imagine what that's like. And to everyone that works at YouTube, I really sympathize for having to go to work and with at least some bit of fear now. This is awful. The situation, just to put it plain and simple, it's just bad for everyone. And I don't want it to seem like I'm pointing fingers. I don't think this whole this situation is anyone's direct fault, whether it's YouTube or the community. But I think it's important to at least acknowledge the fact that there is a huge division between the creators and the website. And I think there's been a very frustrating year for everyone involved, where all the changes that came with the apocalypse led to so much confusion and anger, and I would never have guessed it would have led to something so horrible and despicable like this. But a lot of time with these situations, what I do is I just go on Twitter. When things go wrong with YouTube, I just go on Twitter, because it's a good way to relieve stress, or I'll make some sort of YouTube rant and discuss it in a humorous way to sort of rant about it, because it relieves that stress. And I've talked about this before, but I know from the outside it might be hard to understand, because YouTube comes with so many amazing perks. It's really like made my life so much better than I could ever imagine. It's given me my dream job and all these things possible, but it is so mentally tolling sometimes. I sort of force myself over the years to distance myself from YouTube, because it's just too stressful otherwise. And I've talked to a lot of different creators over the years, and I think most of them admits to at least some point have gone through a really tough mental period. It's not always as simple as it may seem, and I really think most people on YouTube has gone through that at some point, whether they care to admit it or not. And I can only imagine that if you have that stress and anger built up over a long time and you're a fucking crazy person, then that's what creates these sort of insane scenarios. And obviously, I don't know if that's necessarily what happened, but I'm just speculating here. But if that is the case, I think it's really important that more than ever that we really connect YouTube and the creators more than we have. I think YouTube is definitely working on that, and should just keep doing that. But I also think we as creators can do a better job at communicating with YouTube as well, and not always just rant and talk about it in a stupid way like I've been doing, for example, a lot of times. I have been trying to engage more with YouTube in a more serious way to actually fix a lot of the issues, because it's a crisis situation, and I think this shows that. I don't want to see them all like kumbaya, we should all just get together and hold hands kind of moments, but I do think at times like this, it's just more important than ever. It's just to come together. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. It just sucks. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching Pew News. I am Don Lemon. It's been my pleasure. Hopefully next week won't be so horrible. This video will definitely have garbage ads on it, so I do appreciate if you want to support the show by buying a Pew News mug. Link is in the description. Have a great one, and I'll see you next time. I am Don Lemon, everybody. Goodbye.
I'm not editing anything in here. Just leave.